actually today all right, so we're doing more of the Solana stuff, and to be honest, I think we're almost ready. I think we're almost ready to kind of get started, just actually building, you know, kind of like understanding the code, and then you know, and then we you know, we can eventually try it. So okay, give me a second. Create broadcast. Sorry guys, I'm getting distracted. All right, so let me post about it. Post these, and there we go. Okay, we're live. We're now live, and we will actually continue the lesson that we left here, and see what happens. To be honest, we were here, and I didn't like the way this code looks like. Because it didn't actually feel like this was it didn't actually feel this was what was needed. It's more like multiple strategies, but then it's like all the time essentially you run the bot and then you pick a strategy at the beginning, and kind of that's it. Like that's not the point. So let's kind of dive into this a bit further. We were in the hesitation effect, hesitation. So we were talking about the explanation of theorems and growth. So we were talking about, and what adjustments could help. Oh no, this was marked as done. No, this was done. This. I think we did that, right? Yeah, we did those two actually. Yeah. So that's kind of a bug. But okay. It's okay. Let's go to chapter 5. How might waiting for engagement or hesitation affect later stages of implementation? So I think here we yeah. Essentially what I was saying here is that based on the level of hesitation, or based on the score that we would actually have, we would really change the kind of strategies used, or it will influence the strategies used downstream, like based off of how the whole thing started, right? So if I start with confidence, then I'm going to basically go in a more aggressive strategy. If I start close to like medium confidence, then I would kind of go with maybe a different strategy, right? So that this would be basically something that kind of is baked into that. I'm gonna put some music.
I tried everything. Coffee,
Sorry, guys.
but nothing stuck until I tried.
Okay, perfect. I hope you can still hear my voice well. I hope so. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just gonna go. I have this here in full screen mode, and It's a good question. I think I think essentially lower confidence, for example, initially would impact like everything across the board. But I think the thing that would look the most difference is, yes, maybe the resource shifts. So this means I'll be a bit more sensitive towards like what like how much I'm spending. Yeah, I think that was a good one. I mean, I agree. Okay, we'll move on. You see, it's there's definitely a bug. There's definitely a bug where these things don't get marked well. So well, I would first connect the pieces by just asking Grok to build a scaffolding. So I would go and ask Grok or any LLM to build me a scaffolding of the concept where you have an initial strategy. That strategy has a threshold, and then the subsequent strategies or phases. And maybe it's more like we would actually organize it like phases after the initial buys. Yeah. Did I get lost? So what I would do is I would actually ask Grok to build one. I'm just gonna ask. I'm just gonna ask it. Let's just put the pieces together. Okay, so let's go. Let's ask Grok. So, hey Grok, let's build these properly from the ground up. So let's kind of put the pieces together. I mean, and you guide me if I'm making mistakes, right? But I think the best way to build a Solana trading bot is a bot that starts or has an initial strategy. That initial strategy is gonna actually look at. It's kind of like what you already gave. So it's gonna look at the different parameters and then decide buy no buy. If we decide buy, essentially what we're doing is we are moving on to the next stages, and the next stages will be at least a stage where we keep doing buys, and then there's multiple strategies you can apply here until we detect a condition that makes us stop and then start selling. And that condition would then be influenced ideally by the original strategy or by the original threshold that made us buy or not buy. So if it was less confident, then we will be more conservative here. And then essentially that's that third stage. So first stage is monitoring. First stage is like the buy stage, and then we will actually be more sort of like selling, I think. And I don't know if that's too naive. Like, let me know if there's more sort of a more complex scaffolding around these. So we have stage 1, monitoring entry decision, position management. While holding, this is where you can add more buys, or just hold, and exit sell decision influenced by the original entry confidence score. It's a classic trade lifecycle architecture used in almost every serious trading system. Refine architecture, yeah, so I think I would actually put this, yeah. So to turn this into a detailed step-by-step plan, the chapter asks for which 2 common implementation gaps, slippage handling or signal lag, would you like to address explicitly? I mean, slippage handling is definitely something that we actually missed. So, and signal lag, yeah, we could do both. So let's address both. Can you explicitly address? I keep saying I should do the streams earlier. Got it. Where I am here. I just opened the stream on the phone, so I can actually chat there if you want to. Okay, so essentially slippage control, locked in every trade, passive BPS and real swap, signal lag. So, but what does the slippage control specifically add as feature? Because I assume that what it would do is it would control a cell to avoid a certain slippage percentage. When are they launching, by the way? I think they start soon, actually. Didn't they start already? Yeah, but it's still okay. 14 minutes. We will definitely wrap up before these because I also want to watch it. Tolerance, okay. So we have renew. For lack of trades. Oh, so there's a Telegram alert system. I think it's good. I mean, I think it just essentially does slippage tolerance. We talked about these. I think the price moves beyond your tolerance. Option B. Ask Jupiter for a quote and calculate expected leverage. It's already exactly. Just set the tolerance and okay, you can actually set the tolerance in a transaction. I didn't know that. Okay. Do me a quick summary of both the slippage and the lag, so I can tell this to my tutor, please. I think think what we'll have to do is we will have to probably at some point switch to grok build and just build it and then test it and then run it. I think we've learned, this is I think we've basically, it's not that we've learned, we've learned a lot, right? I mean, we've learned actually the first principles of the stuff behind these. Yeah, it's gonna have the same. It's gonna mark it down. It's gonna complain. We're almost done with the session, so. I wonder if there's a better interface than a chat like this that is less cluttered. Because to be honest, the history is pretty useless. I don't really go back to the history, right? A lot. So, yeah. Okay, that actually here makes absolutely no sense, but I think this is probably a grok problem. But you told me I can mark it as done before. You told me you marked it as done. You told me that I can mark it as done. None of them. No. None of them. I think it's clear. I think it's clear. Let me just mark it as done. Yeah, okay, cool. Not yet. It's fine. We'll move on. I have to polish that. Okay, it's okay. That's okay. We don't need to. We can skip these questions. Think about applying one insight in this session, right? I think those questions are a little crabby, to be honest. Not too happy with these, but though this was an older version where I think it didn't create great plans. But it's okay. I think we're done. I think we're done with this session. I think in general, I think we've learned. So let me just finish this end session. So this one is definitely, I think, ended. And what's the time now? I probably will wrap it up in like 5 minutes. I think we're done with these. Now, is it actually finishing end session? Should actually go back to the results page. Because I mean, I think we've gone through most of the stuff. I feel more confident with different building blocks and strategies without actually having read any specific guide or anything, right? So in this case, it's been like, I would say, pretty chill. So we talked a lot about like the basics of the blockchain for the first like 2 or 3 videos, and then we really talked about the strategies. And so we actually, like, this helped me build the whole concept of like in my head of like, cool, so we need a start strategy. We need something that helps us get started and then trigger the decision. Then we need something that is like the buy/hold phase, and then we have like the phase where we're basically just selling or exiting, and each of these are different, and you can have multiple strategies in each of these. And what's more, you can have the situation that defines the first initial go or no go actually influence the strategies behind that or after that. So I think that is actually pretty good. And now I'm not so sure if there's no bug here. Saving session. Session never finishes. That's okay. It's alright. We can. Oh, we're here. We're here. So it's fine. I mean, we've done everything. We've done. Okay, so we haven't done the thing with the environment setup, but I think the environment setup is something that is clear to me already. And basically, yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with it already. We talked about wallets and transactions. We talked about the DEX mechanics, and then we talked about the LP pools. We talked about Radium, Jupiter, and all this kind of stuff. And we talked about how to get into the business of building your own your own what was the name, the RPC servers that do the communication with blockchain. And then code trades, real-time marketing and monitoring. I think it's pretty good. I think we can wrap it up, and I think we can actually it actually marked it as done. I think what we can do is we can start building it with Grok build, and then go back to any of these if it still feels like we do not understand the piece. But I think I could literally can you give me a full-blown prompt that I can pass on to Grok build so that it can actually build me this trading bot in a way that I can actually host these as a website, and I can actually let people use the trading bot with their own wallets as well, and maybe basically configure their their tolerance, and then just use this bot with their wallet. Because then we can take it from there. All 4 minutes, guys. That's okay. We'll actually go. Because what I'll do is I'll give this to Grok build. We'll build we'll build a bot, and then we will actually then maybe analyze the code together on a stream so you understand how it looks like, or maybe even just add sessions here based on this code. You know what I mean? Reorder, modify. Yeah, cool, guys. That was actually quite nice. I didn't have a specific aha moment today, but I did yesterday, which makes me happy. See you guys around.